Welcome back. Well, you've got some new details in that deliberately set fire inside a migrant detention center in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico. Dozens of migrants were killed when locked doors trapped them inside with the flames. ABC's Rena Roy reports this is just one of several deadly incidents in recent weeks involving migrants near the southern border.
Mourners gathered in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico Tuesday night to remember the lives of the 38 people killed at this migrant detention facility. At least 28 others injured after a fire ripped through the building. Surveillance video shows the moment flames and smoke began to spread, filling holding cells. But the doors appear locked and no one opens them. Some families still searching for their loved ones.
Yesterday at 12 is the last time he heard from his brother.
Mexican President López Obrador accusing some of the detainees of starting the fire after learning they would be deported, lighting highly flammable mattresses in protest. Officials say those responsible have been brought before the Mexican Attorney General, who has launched an investigation into the tragedy. The center is less than 7 miles from El Paso, Texas, and was largely home to men who have requested asylum or were waiting for an opportunity to cross the border into the U.S. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol says it's prepared to receive and process migrants injured in the fire for treatment at medical facilities in the U.S. Ciudad Juarez is one of the busiest border crossings for migrants trying to enter the U.S. 225,000 migrants were apprehended by Border Patrol in the El Paso sector from October 2022 to February 2023. Over 100 members of Congress wrote a letter urging the Biden administration to not restart the family detention centers and instead expand pathways and invest in community-based alternatives to detention. This tragedy comes just 3 days after 2 people died when migrants became trapped in a train car near Uvalde, Texas. And just over 2 weeks ago, 8 migrants died after 2 suspected smuggling boats capsized near San Diego. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Russia's deputy foreign minister says the country has now suspended all nuclear notifications with the U.S. Russian state media reporting that includes notifications of test missile launches. Yesterday, the U.S. said that Russia was going to stop providing the U.S. with data on its nuclear forces. And in response, the U.S. said it will no longer do so either. The two countries started sharing this kind of information regularly in the 80s when they passed a treaty. The type of communication was there to ensure that neither country misrepresented what the other was doing. Now it will no longer take place.
The Biden administration is planning to move ahead with a massive drilling auction. They're trying to lease or sell off more than 73 million acres of water in the Gulf of Mexico, all to be used for offshore oil and gas drilling. In its environmental impact analysis for the lease sale, the Biden administration estimated that the oil and gas drilling could emit about 21 million metric tons of carbon dioxide. Environmental groups say that the analysis is flawed. They're taking issue with the size and scope of the sale, saying nothing in the Inflation Reduction Act said it had to be so many acres. They also filed a lawsuit trying to stop the Biden administration from doing this.
The National Transportation Safety Board launching an investigation now into that explosion at a candy factory. It happened Friday in West Reading, Pennsylvania. It killed 7 people. The NTSB called the incident at the R.M. Palmer Company chocolate factory a natural gas explosion and fire. Now, while the agency is known for investigating transportation-related incidents, since the pipeline is considered a form of transportation for natural gas, it will investigate. 3 buildings at that site have been condemned as a result of the explosion.
A firefighter's death is now highlighting the need for drivers to keep an eye out on the roads for crews and, of course, first responders right here on our Texas highways. So take a look. West volunteer firefighter Edward Heichel passed away while on the line of duty. He was helping victims during a car fire on I-35 just north of Waco. That's not the first time Heichel faced danger to help others. He was actually on the ground when the West fertilizer plant explosion happened back in 2013. The West mayor getting choked up as he reflected on his friend passing away while, again, helping others. He urges drivers across the state to stay vigilant, especially while on the highway.
You think that going into a burning building is dangerous. Working I-35, it's a whole lot more dangerous. The people just don't take their time. They don't respect a fire engine that's straddling the road.
Heichel was part of the city's public works and water department and a firefighter for more than 16 years.
Kia now rolling out its software update at dealerships in an effort to make their cars harder to steal. However, it doesn't work for everyone who's eligible for it. After getting the fix, Kia drivers would be required to have the key in the ignition in order to turn the car on. It's meant for the millions of cars on the road that do not have an anti-theft device. And as a result, there's been a spike in thefts because criminals specifically target these cars because they have no anti-theft device. However, some Kia owners showing up to the dealerships to get that software update say that workers are telling them the fix won't work for their cars. This is what a driver heard at a Chicago area dealership.
If we do the software update to these cars, somebody uses their electric start, the alarm will start going off and it won't shut off.
A Kia spokesperson confirms there's a compatibility issue with the software update and with cars that have remote start. They admit that if you try that, it causes the activation of a burglar alarm when the remote start is used. They go on to say that car owners with remote start are going to need to delay installing the upgrade while they work on addressing the issue and changing the software.
All right, let's take a live look out at the Alamo City. Did you make it outside at all yesterday?
I did.
Okay, what'd you do?
I was running errands, the same old, same old.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was doing so this morning as well. And I can report it was raining north of town.
Nice.
Overnight. There were puddles.
Yeah, we actually did get some good rain. I got a little bit at my house yesterday. It was so nice to see. We need a lot more, obviously, but every little bit helps. If you didn't hear last half hour, Oak is through the roof today. It's 11,720. It puts it in the very high category, a very high number. And I want to show you the graph here that kind of gives you an idea of where we are as far as oak season is concerned. We had a little peak earlier in the month, and then it came down some, and then we have another big peak. Now the question is this the peak? And when we get on the back side of it, it'll be a little bit early, but hopefully that is the case. It does look like things are moving along as you look at the oak trees. New leaves are starting to come out, but everything's green and yellow right now. 11,720, again, very heavy today, heads up in the pollen count. Here's the scene outside right now. We've got cloudy skies, 62. Dew point is at 40. That number is slowly easing up on an easterly wind at about 8 miles per hour, but it's a cool day. You still may want your jacket even going into this evening. 67 at 3 o'clock. There could be a few peaks of sun, but we're not expecting much. We're up around 68 for a high today, and then we won't fall all that low tonight because moisture begins to pour in, and that's going to result in a drizzly, somewhat damp Thursday morning. Another look at that forecast and a look towards the weekend, too, coming up in just a couple minutes.
A young softball player with all the right moves to get on base. And her moves are going viral. We're going to take a closer look still ahead.
And Leonardo da Vinci's paintings may have had a secret ingredient. Not only a famous artist shares the secret, but how eggs help them not only create masterpieces, but actually keep them preserved as well. We're going to explain. Welcome back. From Alaska to Argentina, a teenager is making the trek by bike. That's right, Liam Gardner making his way across the Americas. So the experienced cyclist, he actually started his trip back in August of 2021.
When Gardner left, all he had was a tent, a sleeping bag, a day's worth of food and water, some portable batteries, a medical kit, and some extra parts for the bike.
All right, so he also had a budget of about $430 a month for most of the journey. Gardner was biking alone, and at times he considered giving up. Like, honestly, he was robbed in Mexico, and then he struggled with extreme heat.
Or when he spent a month in the hospital when he had an accident. But Gardner persevered, and on January 10th, he made it all the way to Argentina. He's now planning to write a book about the trip.
So the robbery chapter is going to be fascinating, to say the least.
What a guy.
Yeah.
Okay, some of the world's most well-known artists sharing a secret. Even the Mona Lisa? There may be eggs in these priceless works of art.
All right, so according to a new study, old masters like Da Vinci and Rembrandt, they may have used egg yolks in their oil paintings. So trace quantities of protein have actually been detected in these classic paintings. While it was originally believed to have been from contamination, researchers now say it was intentional.
They say adding egg yolk could tune the properties of the oil paint in drastic ways, such as showing age and brush strokes differently. It would also make the paint less resistant to humidity.
I joked earlier, it's a high protein diet, but a high protein painting. But
Yeah.
Okay, not even a laugh?
Weak rim shot.
Okay, that's fair. All right, take a look at this. A bubble created by a star in space.
It is dubbed the Dolphin Head nebula because it looks like a dolphin. The gas ball lies about 5,000 light years away. It covers as much of the sky as the full moon, although it is much dimmer.
So the type of star that this created, this bubble, generally they have over 20 times the mass of our sun, and they expel fast particle winds that can create iconic looking nebulas just like this one. So local scientist Justin Horn, break it down for us. Can we actually see this?
Man, I can't even know, but I can't even wrap my mind around that stuff. It is mind-blowing.
That's really outside of your pay grade a little bit?
Pretty much, yeah.
It was really cool to look at. Not so
incredible.
cool as what we're looking at right here.
Incredible. Well, it was sad last night we could not see the alignment of the planets that everyone was talking about. It would have been cool, but we had cloudy skies, and we still have clouds over top of us right now. 64 so far today, 53 was the low. The average is 77, so we are going to be below average this afternoon, but not as hot as the record. 94 set back in 2000. We look at the rest of the week's forecast, and we have some rain chances over the weekend too. We'll give you the details coming up.
Welcome back. Happy Wednesday, 12:45. And I gotta say, it's kind of underwhelming weather out there.
I don't know. I actually saw puddles on the north side of San Antonio, which was nice because we really did need some rain.
We did. I was out walking the dog yesterday, and it rained, and it was cold. I had to grab a jacket. It does not feel like late March. It was good to see the rain. Wasn't a lot, but it was something. And we have some more small rain chances in the forecast. You know, someone asked me the other day, what are the lake temperatures like? Which, you know, we haven't really jumped into before or looked at before, but we do have those numbers from Texas Parks and Wildlife. And if you were curious, and this mainly deals with fishing, because ideal fishing temperatures actually a little bit cooler than this, I do believe. But Amistad's at 65 degrees. These are water temperatures we're talking about. Medina Lake, 65 degrees. Canyon, 60 degrees. LBJ, 60 degrees. So if you were curious, those are the numbers. And these numbers should start to climb as we get into later into spring. You'll see warmer water temperatures, but wanted to pass that along. As we go outside for you, cloudy, 62 at the airport, 62 Stinson, 62 at Kelly, 61 at Randolph. We've got an easterly breeze, east-northeasterly. And once that turns more southeasterly later today, that starts the process of bringing in some Gulf moisture. And we're not seeing much in the way of rain right now other than a few sprinkles just east of Gonzales. 62 at the airport. There are some breaks in the clouds, a few up around Kerrville where it's 63. Del Rio, you're seeing a little bit of sun, 66 there, but cloudy in Pleasanton and 64, and cloudy here around the city. 64 hello to 62 down there at Stinson. There's a look at the wind. It is east and northeast right now and pretty light, but we'll see that wind kind of turn to the southeast tonight, and you'll see dew points start to climb pretty steadily. They're already climbing a little bit. 66 at 2 o'clock, 67 3 p.m. We top out at 68 for a high today. Expected to be mostly cloudy going into this evening. And yes, we do add in some rain chances by midnight, but this is the light drizzly stuff. As I said earlier, it's not going to fill up your rain gauge, but it will be around tomorrow to give you a wet commute and just kind of start off sort of damp on your Thursday. You see all the clouds here across South Texas, some rain showers exiting the state as a piece of energy moves out. And then as we look at the water vapor here, this big bowling ball of a system once again affecting California. It has just been so busy there on the West Coast, and they are getting more showers and storms today and snow with this storm system. So this does move towards the middle part of the country, but weakens a little bit and just doesn't have the same effect on us. We don't get the same good rain chances. But as I mentioned, out ahead of it, dew points will increase. So right now things are pretty dry, but these dew points as we get into tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., notice we jump up into the 60s. So that's when you start to feel it. You start to move into the muggy territory. And usually when you have that quick influx of moisture, well, then you get the drizzle and maybe some patchy fog too. This is midnight. We start to add in the rain chances, and then tomorrow morning, passing light showers, drizzle, wet roads. Be prepared for that tomorrow. Go ahead and grab the umbrella too. Nothing that's going to be heavy, but you may want it with you. By midday, some of the showers are starting to move east, and I think it's quieter during the afternoon and mostly cloudy. Here's the extended forecast. 78 tomorrow with the morning drizzle, maybe a few breaks in the clouds in the afternoon. 88 Friday, though. We start off cloudy, end up partly cloudy. It'll be breezy, humid. There is a small chance for shower or storm as a front comes through, and that front lingers over the weekend. Kind of pulls up stationary, so it will still give us some rain chances. 20% Saturday, 20% Sunday. We'll have to watch for a couple of storms here, but coverage is not going to be all that great. And then as we get into early next week, it's hot. 90 on Monday. We go all the way up to 92 on Tuesday. We'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. These are your top headlines from Cheddar News. A Maryland appeals court has reinstated Adnan Syed's murder conviction. This comes after a finding that a lower court violated the victim's family's right to attend a hearing on vacating the conviction. Syed was the subject of the popular Serial podcast, yet his conviction tossed out by a circuit court, and all those charges were dropped last fall. Meanwhile, the latest S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller U.S. National Home Price Index shows housing prices fell for January for the 7th month in a row. After seasonal adjustment, the national index posted a month-over-month decrease of 0.2%. And Apple's now introducing a buy now, pay later service. They're calling this one Pay Later. The tech giant's new offering allows users to make purchases and pay for them in installments, so you can use Apple Pay to buy something and then split the balance into 4 payments over the course of the next 6 weeks. And that's your Cheddar News Update. I'm Baker Machado coming to you at the Cheddar Studios in New York City.
The video of a base runner fooling a catcher has gone viral because the runner used the oldest tricks in the book. She did it, and it worked. CNN's Jeannie Mose has the play-by-play.
Forget strikeouts. This was a fake out. Jada Walton from Carthage High School in East Texas headed for home plate. Almost got tagged out and then pointed to first base. It's the classic made you look. Look over there, the oldest trick in the book. Take another look.
I really had no idea what to do. I was really just goofing around because I thought I was going to be out.
Jada made it to home plate using the technique some use to steal food off a plate. The same ruse Marty used to sucker punch Biff.
Now, whoa, Biff, what's that?
In Back to the Future, that Arnold deployed to escape in Last Action Hero, Inside Edition dubbed Jada
the Houdini of softball.
Even Major League Baseball gushed. You must see this all-time great base running fake out. As for those who said the catcher deserves to be benched, Jada cried foul.
I probably would have fell for it. Anybody would, because she is really like a good player. Like, she's the best on the team.
By the way, Carthage won the game 7-5, and Jada won bragging rights.
I made you look. I made you look.
Jeannie Mose, CNN, New York.
Incredibly impressive. And it worked.
Bad for the catcher.
I know, with the comments on Twitter. All right, you know what else is impressive and amazing? SA Live and these conchas.
I know.
Does it just look like he has a new hairdo?
Oh, boy. I love it.
Wow.
You guys look fantastic.
I feel like it's going to fall here. We were going to tell you we're going to get those conchas because, really special. I have a book on my head. All right, this is a game you can play for Easter. Put shaving cream, a shower cap on your head, and then, well... I got one. Yeah, you go, not in the eye.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, need a place for Easter brunch? Well, Jen is going to take us to a spot called Blush. Don't hit me in the face with the
Blush
thing. Yeah,
for
Blush
Easter
restaurant.
brunch. Okay,
Yeah.
and then
Happy Tails is here, and Beth Bednar has a cute little guy.
Okay.
He does not climb trees, does he?
He does not. This is Bama Richardson's ground squirrel.
And you said he's got 2 different ways of warning his buddies if something's going on, right?
They have 2 different danger calls. For terrestrial danger, they do a whistle, and we can talk about the other one here in just a little bit.
and we have a few more animals to show off and how they can, of course, come to you. And take a look at this.
These are some of the conches that they were trying, and a young lady from Macau bakes these little special ingredients. We're going to tell you how you can get your hands on those. Ted, don't hit me in the face. Okay?
Yes, all that and more when SA Live continues in just a few minutes, and we'll see.
What are you doing?
It's the safest place to be where you're
go like
aiming.
this.
It's like me. Okay.
Oh, now our heads are stuck together.
Oh no.
Oh no.